last page, page 12. Workplace safety and health. This is it. Employers of food service establishments not only have a responsibility to safeguard public health, but also the responsibility to provide a safe and healthy workplace for their employees. Under the U.S. Occupational Health and Safety Administration, OSHA, employers must provide their employees with a workplace free from recognized hazards causing or likely to cause death or serious physical harm. Okay? Health and safety hazards for workers may be found throughout food establishments, especially in the kitchen. Hazards include fall hazards, heat, hot oil, knives, and machinery. Some of the most common injuries to restaurant workers are muscle strains, sprains, tears from slips, trips, and falls, overexertion and lifting, repetitive motions, and reaching and twisting. That's cuts, lacerations from knives, food and beverage processing machinery such as slicers, grinders, and mixers, and broken glass. All right. Next, burns and scalds from hot liquids, hot oils, and grease. Dang. And from heating and cooking equipment such as ovens and grills, hot pots and trays, and steam. Okay. Controlling hazards. Prevent injuries among workers. 1. Training. One of the least expensive ways to prevent work-related injuries is through training. Every new employee or an employee training for a new position should be trained in health and safety policies and procedures. Additionally, training your workers on a regular basis ensures that new hazardous conditions or other safety problems are reported and discussed. Be sure to get input from your workers on how to resolve problems. Workers often come up with the best ideas on injury prevention. Okay. The majority of food service workers in New York City are foreign born. Written materials on safety rules and policies should be available in languages understood by your staff. Check with the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene Restaurant Work and Health and Safety Project for available educational materials at 212-788-4290. Number 2, check your workplace. Use the restaurant safety checklist below to do a quick assessment of your facility for areas needing improvement. The checklist below can be used to audit your workplace on a daily or weekly basis. A more comprehensive checklist tool for more periodic audits is available through the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene Restaurant Worker Health and Safety Program. Auditing your workplace helps to document corrective actions needed, identify responsible parties, and track expected remediation date and verification of action taken. Okay? 1. Avoid conditions that lead to slips, trips, and falls. Be sure pathways exist. Exits are free of trip hazards and marked and well lit. Next, provide mirrors on blind corners. Next, be sure spills are cleaned up immediately. Next, be sure floors around fryer and grill are kept free of grease. Next, be sure floor around dishwashers are kept clean and dry. Next and last, check that workers are wearing slip-resistant shoes. Keep the footwear. Number 2, minimize cuts and lacerations. Be sure guards are used on meat slicers, bread and bagel slicers, mixers, etc. Yeah, you don't want to lose a finger. Workers who use electrical machinery keep their long hair tied back and remove loose jewelries and rings. Yeah, don't get it caught. Tear your fingers off. Knives are out of the sink and in a designated drawer or rack. Tamps, push sticks, or other tools are used to feed or remove food from grinders, slicers, and choppers. Yeah, Lord, you know, flying around and cut you up. Okay. Next, minimizing burns. Be sure pot holders, mitts, and gloves are used to handle hot items. Pot handles and cooking utensils are turned away from edges of counters or stove fronts. Heater oil is never left unattended and is cooled before handling. Next, workers get assistance when moving heavy or large pots of hot liquid. All right. Next, avoid electrocutions and fires. Be sure damaged electrical cords, broken plugs, and broken equipment are taken out of service. 2, grilling sauce filters are cleaned daily. And number 3, portable fire extinguishers are fully charged in operating condition and available in kitchen and public assembly space. Number 5, minimize muscle strains and sprains. Be sure workers use safe lifting techniques and get assisted for awkward or heavy items. Next, rubber floor mats are in place and cleaned daily. Next, workers get help whenever lifting heavy objects. All right. And number 3, number 3, implement solutions. Don't wait until the next injury incident to take action. Once you've assessed your workplace, identify the steps needed to correct the problem. See some possible solutions for common restaurant hazards in the table below. All right, injury, sprains, and how they happen, hazards. This is, you have the injury, how it happens, when the hazards column, lifting heavy loads, awkward reaches, repetitive motions, possible solutions. Provide smaller bus pans or trays, use hand trucks when lifting. Try to lift the things and make it easier for the worker. Okay. Oh, Lord, workplace violence. Okay. Hazard. This is what happens, how it's caused. Dealing with irate customers, robbery, domestic violence towards staff, violence between customers. Okay. How to avoid that is in this possible solution column. Okay. Keep cash registers funds to a minimum. Vary the time of day that the register is empty. Okay. Count cash in a secure room. Provide training so that workers can diffuse potential violence. Develop a plan and train workers on dealing with hostile customers. Coordinate the local. Okay, or just use credit or debit cards. I know in New York they say you have to take cash, but try to include an electronic payment. That would be helpful. 6, get more information. The Department of Health and Mental Hygiene Restaurant Worker Health and Safety Project can assist employers in identifying resources to train workers and in assessing their work site. Additionally, there are many useful workplace health and safety resources available on the internet. Sodium salt warning rule. The new rule requires chain food service establishments to show which food items have more than recommended limit of sodium salt per day by placing a warning icon next to those items on the menus, including printed electronic menu boards and item tags. Post a sodium warning statement where customers place their orders. The statement explains that items with the icon have more than recommended limit of sodium per day and have too much sodium is a health risk. The recommended daily sodium limit is 2,300 milligrams. The average American adult consumes about 50% more sodium than recommended limit per day. Restaurant food tends to have more sodium than food prepared at home. Yes, they do have higher in salt. Consuming too much sodium is linked to increased blood pressure, risk of heart disease, risk of stroke. Okay. At the present time, this rule applies to all food service establishments that require a health department permit and are part of a chain. Chain refers to any establishment with 15 or more locations doing business in the U.S. under the same name and offering the same or almost the same menu items. Okay. Food service establishments that are part of a chain must follow the new rule, including restaurants, cafeterias, mobile food vendors, and temporary food vendors. This is the icon that must be posted. You can download the image from newyorkcity.gov/health/salt and place it on your menus, menu boards, and item tags next to any food item that has 2,300 milligrams of sodium or more. This includes printed and electronic menus used to self-order or place an order through an operator. The icon must also be equal in height to the largest letter of the food item's name and is displayed on the menu board, or item tag. Okay. If the entire combination meal contains 2,300 milligrams of sodium or more, you must place the sodium warning icon next to the combination meal on the menu. Okay. The following warning statement must be posted in a clearly visible place at the point where customers place their order at a chain food service establishment is another part of the new rule. Warning. Indicates that the sodium salt content of this item is higher than the total daily recommended limit of 2,300 milligrams. High sodium intake can increase blood pressure and risk of heart disease and stroke. See the brochures below for more information on how to keep yourself and your employees safe. Okay, it's work safe. Okay, but Here's an example on bike safety checklist, right? So you have to have two posters, and that it shows you about the sodium risk. Okay, that is the end of the last and final chapter 15. Now you are ready to take the exam and get your food handler certification.